All my life I've been a closet crossdresser. At 5 feet 6 inches, I was pretty passable as a younger person, but even then I didn't go out dressed. I have a strong fetish for panties, girdles, pantyhose, heels, well, anything feminine, I suppose, so I underdress whenever I think I can get away with it. I recently bought several pairs of pinup panties by Rhonda Shear. You can see these on QVC and, of course, on the web. They're tight and I love tight panties. One day a couple of months ago, I decided to wear my new pink pair to the gym under my shorts. I was in a very horny mood and being around a room full of manly men while wearing my panties sounded like fun to me. So, on they went. And off I went to the gym. It was a Thursday evening, so I expected the gym to be busy with people getting their workouts in before the weekend. I loved the sensation of my tight panties on my butt and how they pulled my maleness back between my legs. I had a super flat front under my shorts and I was loving it. I did my normal workout, 30 minutes on the bike, 20 on the treadmill, and some light weight lifting. After all this, I had worked up a serious sweat and looking around at all the guys in the room only added to the heat. So, I hit the locker room and headed to the back where I could change to my jeans in private. I made sure nobody was around as I slipped out of my shorts, exposing my bright pink pinups. I was so enamored with the look that I had to stand there in them for just a few seconds. This is where I messed up. Around the corner came Nate, a guy I've seen at the gym before, but never really talked to. Nate caught me pulling up my jeans and noticed my panties. I was mortified. I turned several shades of deep red and my mouth instantly went dry as I muttered, "Hi Nate," in a barely audible voice that I couldn't believe was my own. Nate took a beat and looked at me for what seemed like an eternity. I know he was enjoying my discomfort, after which he said, "Cute panties." I nearly melted with embarrassment. I muttered something along the lines of, thanks, and quickly bent down to put my shoes on. I was hoping he would just go away, but no such luck. Nate continued to stand at his locker, blocking me from the only exit. "It's okay, you know, some guys like to wear pretty things, I think it's cute," he said in a completely nonchalant way. His words caught me off guard. This alpha-type guy was giving me a compliment on my panties. What world am I living in right now? I replied with, "I'm sorry you had to see that, it's kind of a secret of mine." "I won't tell a soul," said Nate, as he continued to look me up and down. "Now would be a good time to tell you that I've never had any attraction to men, although I am very submissive by nature, kind of a beta guy I suppose. I have fantasized about being owned by a daddy type from time to time when I'm dressed, but nothing more real than that." Nate continued to block the aisle and made it clear that he wanted to know more. He started asking me very personal questions, like, "When did you start dressing?" And, "What's your favorite thing to wear?" I responded with, "I really have to go, I'm running late." Nate apologized and stepped aside. As I walked by, he said, "I hope to see you here next Thursday night." I just hurried on out of the locker room, through the gym and to my car. I sat in my car with my heart racing, sweat pouring off of me, and my face in my hands as I tried to gather my senses. How could I let this happen? Some stranger knows my secret now. As I settled down, the embarrassment started to change to excitement. I couldn't wait to get home and take care of things. I drove home fast, girly pop music blasting out of my radio, dancing in my seat. I parked the car and ran in the house and right to my bedroom. I took out my wand and my favorite butt plug, which I lubed up and slammed into my waiting ass. What an incredible feeling. I pulled my panties back up and laid on the bed, pleasuring myself with my wand over my panties. I quickly came in a shuddering orgasm. My new pink panties were soaked. I slipped out of my panties, no longer feeling feminine, and ran to the bathroom to wash them out. As I stood by the sink with the water running, I thought about how girly it is for me to hand wash my underwear after soiling them during my orgasm. I wondered what Nate would think if he could see me. Then I did something I've never done before. I went to my drawer and pulled out another pair of panties and put them on. Usually, after coming, I have no desire to wear feminine things, but this time was different. I felt like I should be wearing them, like it was the right thing to do. So I slipped on a new pair of pinups, this time in royal blue, and went about my day. For the next 7 days, I forced myself to wear only female underwear, whether I wanted to or not at that moment. Needless to say, I had several orgasms that week, but always put my panties on afterwards. Thursday rolled around and I was excited to get back to the gym, like a teenage girl waiting to meet her crush. I arrived at the gym around 6 and it was packed as usual, but I didn't see Nate. I purposely wore my jeans to the gym this time, just so I had to change out of them, exposing my panties in the locker room. I hurried to the back of the room and started to change when Nate appeared in the aisle. "I was hoping you'd show," he said with a smile. I replied with, "Yeah, it's my workout night." Nate said, "Can I see your pretty panties again? What color are they this time?" I laughed and with a little smile said, "They're red this time," and I pulled them up over my jeans to give him a quick peek. Nate nodded in approval and said, "Very sexy." I blushed and thanked him. This was so weird, yet so exciting. Nate worked out near me, as I ran on the treadmill and rode the stationary bike. It was fun to have a friend to exercise with, but I felt a funny tingle in my stomach as time went on. Did I really have butterflies for a guy? I don't even like guys, yet I was being pulled in. I enjoyed his strong personality and quick wit. If I were into guys, he would be my type. After we were done working out, we went to the locker room to change. Nate stood in his usual spot as I removed my shorts, this time giving him full view of my very pretty panties. I could tell he loved it. He pulled his shorts off, exposing a semi-erect bump in his sweaty underwear, which he was not shy about advertising. After we both got dressed, Nate asked for my phone number so we could grab a beer sometime. He added me to his phone and took a step closer to me. I was shocked when he leaned in and gave me a peck on the cheek. I blushed hard and was at a loss for words, but managed, "Why did you do that?" He quickly apologized and said it felt right to him. I grabbed my things and got out of there without another word. I drove home in another super horny state. I rushed in the house and once again pleasured myself with my favorite toys. But this time was different, as fantasies about Nate clouded my mind. I loved that little peck on the cheek, I loved his attention, I loved him commenting on my panties, and I wanted to be with him. I wanted to be under him, in front of him, loving him with my mouth, being submissive to him in all ways. I couldn't wait for Thursday. Around 11 p.m. on that night, my phone pinged with a message from a number I didn't recognize. I clicked on it and the message said, "It's Nate, I'm really sorry about the kiss today." I had been dizzy with excitement since that point, so I took the opportunity to apologize for my reaction and, with sweaty palms and a racing heart, I told him I actually loved it and that I want to kiss him so badly right now. Shit, I was flirting with a guy. We texted back and forth for about an hour, covering all sorts of subjects. I told him I'd never kissed a guy before and that I was nervous, to which he said he would take all the time needed to teach me exactly how it's done. After we finished chatting, I came again, right in my panties. I slipped them off as I laid in bed and brought them to my lips. For the first time in my life, I licked and swallowed my own jizz. I faded off to sleep in a state of pure bliss.